It likes crack.
Good.
It's just been just some heritage committee, it gives me grief with every meeting. I mean, it's the same. Right, we are live.
Right, welcome everybody to the Park and Recreation Advisory Committee for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. I'm going to begin with the land acknowledgement. I acknowledge with respect that we are in Robinson Huron Treaty Territory, that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and known as Bawading. Bawading is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. So we'll move on to item number 2, which is adoption of minutes from our last meeting on December 2nd, 2025. They were attached to the meeting agenda. So did everybody get a chance to review them?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay, and can I have a mover that was present at the meeting? Okay, Graham, and a seconder, Jonathan?
Sure.
Okay. And all in favor of approving? Okay, so resolved that the minutes of Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting as of December 2nd, 2025 be approved. And item number 3, declaration of pecuniary interest. Does anybody have anything to declare? Okay, seeing none, we can move on to item number 4, which is adoption of the agenda. Anybody had any questions or additions that they would like added? Seeing none, can I have a mover for the agenda?
Please have to change something.
Oh, yep, perfect. Yep, we will do so. Aria, yep, and a seconder. Graham, thank you. All in favor of approving the agenda? Okay, great. So resolved that the agenda for Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting for February 3rd, 2026, as presented, be approved. Okay, moving on to item number 5, business arising. And we have 5.1 park development update. So I will turn it over to Virginia and maybe Abby.
Yeah, so we can kick off. So I think the 3 parks that we're working on this summer are, I think everybody knows Wishart. So we'll be planning grand opening probably sometime once the weather warms up in June. So there's just a few final pieces that have to go in there along with the rubber surfacing. Same thing with Wilcox. So right now it's just got engineered with fiber down, but we're going to be doing a section with rubber surfacing there as well. And then we'll also be turning some attention to the court area at Wilcox. So those are set to kick off in May. So once the weather is warm enough and things are drying up, then we'll be able to get the surfacing laid down. The other park that we're working on is Manitou Park. So that RFP has went out and been awarded. So we had already looked at that last year. It was just pending some approval on funding. So that is also scheduled for this spring. So we'll have those grand openings that we're really excited about. Mm-hmm. The other project that we're working on is the sensory playground at Manzo. So I had a meeting with our accessibility coordinator and we did a series of consultation, work with some families, and she was working on some language for the types of play equipment that we want to have included at the site. So she just sent a document over in consultation with those families with, kind of some more of the detailed specifics on the types of play panels that really work. There's such a range of products that are out there. So really trying to fine tune that language so that we're able to secure pieces that are really going to work for the families. So that is going to be a really exciting project this year. Nicole was at one of the consultation sessions with us, and it was so great to hear from those families and just the impact that this type of playground is going to have for the families and the kids, having that inclusive space. So we're looking forward to kicking that off. One of the other projects that we're working on the request for tenders right now is Queenie Bee lighting field. So we're going to be getting new lighting in. The lighting poles will be higher so that it's going to be better for multi-sports and football. right now the lighting's a little bit low, so sometimes the football gets lost in that light. So hopefully going out for quotations sometime in the next couple of weeks. We're also working on lighting one of the ball diamonds. So we're working through, we have a meeting coming up to work on the fine tuning the details on that project. We're also working on Esposito Rink Shack. So we're working with the engineering firm to do a redesign. So we were able to do some inspection and we're able to repurpose the existing concrete pad. It's in excellent condition, but the structure that's sitting on it needs to be redone. So part of that is to create a fully accessible washroom. So right now, as you know, when we have our pump track event, we bring in porta potties. This will actually allow for an accessible washroom that'll be accessible during skating season, but then also during the summer months when we're having those activities at the pump track. So that'll be a nice addition. So right now it's just the design phase. From there, they're going to give us the construction pricing, and then we'll be going to council to request future funding and also look for grant opportunities like we always do for the development of it. So we hopefully will have a design and a price leading into the summer months when we prepare our capital requests. And the other one that I'm working on getting out is engineering design for expanding Manzo Pool into having accessible washroom and accessible change rooms there. So I've got to get that one out yet. So that's in the early stages. And then on the grant front, working on Cal Tire grant, and our accessibility coordinator just forwarded another grant opportunity with the Rick Hansen grant. So you can get up to $40,000 for accessible projects. So we're going to take a look at that one. And Addie's going to be working on a CPRA grant coming up where we request funding for a summer student to help with environmental and parks initiatives. Great. So that's the update, Nicole. Is there?
Oh, you
covered it all. Any other?
I just had a question, like, where is the ball field that they're lighting?
Right now we're working through, the lighting currently is at North Street, so we're exploring lighting options also at Strathclair. So we're just kind of working through that process right now to really kind of fine tune what that should look like.
Yeah, I have a question with the cleaning field.
Mhm.
So was all the like work happening in the parking lot, was that for B field? There was like a pile like white stuff and.
That's for the roof. So
The
the
roof.
John Roads roof is getting replaced, the entire roof over the pool and all the arena side. So it started in the summer and then with the weather coming, it's put on hold right now. So that's why you'll see the materials still closer to the small soccer fields.
Right, yeah.
So that's still the roofing materials.
Okay.
So that's a separate project.
Got it.
There was some equipment on Queenie B field against the wall. That was all for the roof as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that will start up again when snow melts and weather permits.
My other question was at the last meeting in December, you threw up pictures of like some new structures, I think, that looked a little interesting. What were
Wish I-
The wish.
Yeah,
So that's all gonna be,
they're already there.
they're already
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. No,
Go on a winter hike.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's not really rich. We went in September, but no, the structures have all been installed since.
they
then.
have, yeah. So the last piece is just the rubber surfacing around to make the accessible points of it. So it's going to be a combination of the engineered wood fiber plus the rubber surfacing. So that's one of the last pieces. And they're also looking at maybe adding in some musical instruments. So just wants a monitoring budget right now for that. So yeah. One of the other pieces that's going in is some interpretive signs. So on the walking paths, they are looking at putting some panels up so that you can talk about the different types of, plants and species that are in the area. So we'll have that little bit of that educational component with them as well.
Sweet, thanks.
Any other questions? I just have one, participation. Has that gone in? Are we applying for participation? Or
They changed it. So we're
Okay.
no longer, municipalities are no longer
Oh.
eligible. So Abby was working on the grant and as we dove into it, they made some modifications to it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, but I did reach out to some of the groups that participated in the trisport, letting them know that they can still
Yes.
apply.
Okay,
And we can partner with them to assist in running the events. But yeah, because we're considered a larger municipality,
fair. Okay.
we don't qualify anymore.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you for the update.
Which is still to, we are going to apply for the challenge.
Yes,
So we're still
yes,
gonna
okay.
go in the challenge. We're still gonna do all the activities that we would normally do. So that won't prohibit us from proceeding with the Try a Sport Day, Bike to Work Week.
Okay, that's awesome,
Yeah.
because that was a great initiative, so I'm glad we're moving forward with all of that despite.
Yeah. Well, and it's right in June is Parks and
Yeah.
Recreation Month, so it's nice to be able to kick off all those activities. So yeah, we'll be moving forward regardless.
Okay, great. Any other questions or comments? Okay, moving on to item 6, subcommittee and task force updates. So 6.1 is the Bellevue Park Master Plan. And it says the subcommittee kickoff meeting in February, so I will turn it over to Virginia.
So we just set the date, so it's gonna be February 25th. We're gonna have our initial kickoff meeting. So right now, Yari had been compiling some information. Abby's been diving into it, familiarizing herself with all the documents. And we're gonna be working on the agenda over the next week and kind of laying out a bit of a timeline for public consultation, some of those key milestones and tasks that as a working subcommittee, we're going to need to go through. So we'll be making sure that we have some background documentation that we could share. The last master plan is fairly old, so it's I haven't been able to find the electronic version of it, so it's probably going to end up being a scanned document that we'll be able to share. And then taking some of the feedback that we've gotten, like I said, from the Parks and Rec master plan, and through that consultation, we'll be able to pull those pieces out to say this is what the community said during the last consultation session with Bellevue Park, and taking, you know, all those different sources and compiling them together, and then we'll make a work plan from there. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Any questions from any committee members regarding the Bellevue Park Master Plan? Okay, seeing none, we can move on to 6.2, the pump track event planning. And meeting has been scheduled with the planning committee for February 12th and at 9 a.m. And I will let you add any other comments you would
Yeah.
like.
So our first kickoff meeting will be at Feeding Your Soul on the 12th. So in addition to members of PRAC, we have some community members that participate. So Dean Greenwood, who was involved with PRAC before, was instrumental in getting this event started years ago. So he's continuing to participate, as well as Thrive and APH. So and then also the staff from the pool have participated in the past. So we really try to make it that kind of summer kickoff and get that information out to community members about sun safety, nutrition, water safety, and really, yeah, it's nice. It's one of my favorite events. It's a nice way to kick off the summer. So probably that'll be the first planning meeting. We've got quite a good roadmap with that, and then we'll get into looking at June's Parks and Recreation Month and the activities from there as well with that working group.
Any questions about the pump track event and the planning? Okay, seeing none, we can move on to 7, which is new business, and 7.1 is financial assistance to the youth DART team. The application is included in the back of our package, so hopefully everybody had a chance to review that. So we're looking at providing support in the amount of $600. Any questions about the application? Yeah,
No.
Jonathan.
These guys applied for it last year. Is there any sort of like limit on it, or is it just an annual thing, or?
Usually it's still once per year per applicant. So now that we've rolled over to the next year, they're eligible again.
Okay.
And anybody else, any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, can I have a mover to support? Paul, thank you, and Stephanie as a seconder, and all in favor? Okay. So resolved that the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee endorse the application by Charlene Willett Rowlandson to receive assistance for Dane Sim, Emily Boyer Desbian, Abby Tackney, Danielle Parson, Bethany Rowlandson, and David Rowlandson to attend the 2026 National Youth Dart Championship, May 13th to 18th, 2026, in the amount of $600. Okay, moving on to item 8, correspondence. Is there anything? Nothing to share. Okay. Item 9, next meeting, which is scheduled for April 7th at 4:30. Any questions about that? Yes.
Personally, at that meeting, can we get like an update on how the skating went this year with like any numbers? 'Cause I think, was that last year or 2 years ago? There was like, we had like that big discussion with the numbers and
Yes.
I think the numbers will be pretty good this year, so the ranks have been, this is the most.
In prime condition.
It's the most consistent, and the ice has been awesome, at least,
Yeah.
the ones I've done, so just be curious to see like, cause I think there's a lot of discussion on looking at the numbers and we kind of decided it was really weather permitted or
Yeah.
weather dependent, so I think just like a follow-up on that one kind of like.
Yeah, we should be able to have them by then, because they usually start wrapping up in March, so we can make sure
Right.
that we request them from our parks team. And
Yep.
then compile the stats, so. Yeah.
Any other comments or requests for the next meeting? Okay, seeing none. Item 10, adjournment. Can I have a mover? Paul and a seconder. Aria, thank you. Everybody in favor? Okay, be it resolved that this committee now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.